Well, mics are hot now.
Cool.
I should turn that music off.
I have a tweet coming out.
Awesome.
Network error. No, just me. Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm just going to turn my camera on Discord. And that way... give me a chance to load. Yeah.
Ooh.
I wish my camera was a little higher so it wasn't looking up at me. But beggars can't be choosers.
Well, I put mine on a nice box that rocks.
Yeah.
Alright, tweet's up.
Awesome.
You should see it, because I added you.
I'm just going to slap that with a retweet and a like.
Okay, my earbuds are already, like, falling out from me
Nice.
moving my jaw, so I gotta put on a...
You gotta put on that patented beanie.
Yeah.
Also, it's gonna take so much for me to not just see Discord up on my left monitor and just start clicking around. It's...
I hope you can't hear that.
No.
I did turn on noise suppression. We'll see what happens about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the holiday episode. We could be a little scuffed. It's fine. Although, to be fair, we were always scuffed, so...
It's true. I made a small doc.
Ooh!
Of what I'm gonna talk about for...
Lovely.
I'm not anticipating talking about it the whole time. Most people are probably here for SAC.
Probably, but honestly, I think High Ink and SAC we can tie together pretty nicely because we can talk about invitationals a lot. I have a lot of things to say.
Well, I made High Ink because I knew SAC would take super long.
Yeah, we needed something to fill in that time. Also, the whole invite at the end of the season is going to be a pain, probably. Invites are always a pain. Should I make a notepad with things to talk about, or should I just let just talk?
I feel like Top Gun.
Yeah,
I have a doc. Should I print it?
Look at you being prepared. Nah, you're good. I'm just kind of like, ooh. Yay, talking.
I need something to jog my mind.
Yeah. Also, 20-minute pre-show. We are...
Not 20.
Well, no. We started at like 40, though. Actually, no.
Not prepped at 40.
Yeah, we started at 45, so 15 minutes. And let's just hope that everything doesn't explode as soon as I switch scenes. Oh, for sure. I'm gonna switch scenes and it's gonna be like, no, fuck.
Nope.
And just do the fuck it. We'll do it live.
My parents were watching a basketball game. I said this in the IPL series, but it was really funny. The graphics just kept like messing up. Like they changed, one of the scores just went to 0 for like a solid minute until they changed it back.
That intern isn't getting the job.
And then like they changed the score again, and like the whole thing just like moved to the top of the screen.
Oh no!
And then they had to like, I don't know. It just kept messing up.
Yeah.
Funny.
No, it made us look really good.
Makes us look amazing.
Uh-huh.
Ignoring the fact that I kept messing up paint colors at Riptide.
I mean, that's just the standard NA production.
We're doing great.
Yep. Where... So, Twitch has this thing for, like, bookmarking stuff. Where is that?
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I probably am. Oh, there it is. Add stream marker. And then allows.
Owen's here.
Pog.
Pog. Big fan. Big fan.
Huge fan. Biggest fan, honestly.
No, you're not.
You're really just gonna take that thunder from me.
I am. No
I'm
shame.
tired of pretending I won't.
Is that my laptop? Oh my gosh.
Hmm?
Fan's going crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, that just happens. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, true. I wouldn't be surprised if my computer just decides to turn on its jet engine. Just for funs. For funsies.
Why are there so many channel points?
What? Oh.
I have a lot of channel points.
I don't know why. You just gotta get the water out now. You JPEG, are you okay? Your image is not moving. I think JPEG's dead. I think the channel points killed him. JPEG? I think he's dead. Wait.
So cool thing, my internet decided to go down. For like 2 seconds. Also, my headphones aren't paired anymore. What happened?
You redeemed hydrate and then just perished.
Hydrate or dihydrate?
And
I chose dihydrate.
Yeah, you chose dihydrate. That's funny. That's funny as fuck.
And I'm back. Okay. I want to connect to my hotspot, which is arguably.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
There we go. Okay, let's do another speed test. Oh, that's faster. That's embarrassing.
Wait, this
am
is
I hot? Hotspotting the Wi-Fi. Or what?
This is going to be so much fun.
Okay. I'm still here.
Yeah,
We're
you're still
cool.
here.
Powered by 5G, get vaccinated. Oh my god. Oh, the internet's slow. Nope, it's back. Cool.
Yeah.
Like my webcam was high quality regardless.
Yeah, I mean this is
good. What did
definitely
I
going to be super scuffed. Nothing. I just took my drink of water
Oh,
that chat didn't see, and you died. And then I was like, damn, JPEG died.
Died.
And yeah, that was
Nope,
that.
we're good.
Oh, yep. That was that. Also, I didn't stay up till 5 a.m. making a kelp farm. Nope, not me.
Nope.
Not me. Oh, look, my calendar just told me I have a podcast with JPEG in 7 minutes.
I
Damn,
thought
that's crazy.
I heard a beep in my earbud. I was like, oh.
Oh.
Only the left one though.
The left one's about to die.
No, it just okay. Maybe it is. I can't see the battery on this thing.
I mean, that's basically what mine does. Mine just screams in my ear, battery low. It's like, shit. Shit, fuck.
Happens.
Yeah. I'm just hoping it doesn't die in the middle of stream. Otherwise, like, it probably, no one will notice, but it tanks my frame rate for some reason if I don't use Bluetooth earbuds. I somehow fucked it up to such a degree that it just my frame rate goes from like solid like 60 or 30 to just non-existent to like 10. And like it's not that big a deal since we're not playing games or anything where audio is like the main draw, right? But it's so annoying whenever I want to stream solo queue or like anything like that. And maybe Windows 11 fixed it. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Or it probably made it worse, realistically.
Realistically, yeah.
Like, I didn't have the problem of not being able to play Valorant on Windows 10. And then last night I was like, I want to play some deathmatch. And then you need to go to your BIOS and turn on Secure Boot, which is fun because BIOS.
Water bottle has my location on it.
Oh no. You gotta drink off stream.
I'm just gonna drink off screen.
Gotta make sure you don't give away your location.
I'm not supporting local businesses. You're doxing me.
Yep, surely. That's not what it is. Not supporting local businesses.
Technically.
It's just so much fun to see you just lean over.
Everyone's gonna be so confused.
Yeah, it's like, why is he leaning over like that? Because he didn't choose his water bottle tactfully. That's why.
Okay, well, I'm gonna close Twitter after that one.
Why? Banger tweets?
By metaverse girlfriends. And that was just a buzzword I didn't need to... Sponsored by metaverse girlfriends.
No, we are... No. Absolutely not.
NFTs.
No NFTs either. Fuck NFTs. We don't need to be throwing those buzzwords around.
Love buzzwords.
Yeah, buzzwords are so much fun. Like waterfall. Waterfall is my favorite buzzword.
Waterfall. You almost went a month without saying it. Maybe less. You almost went a week. Boss. I ain't your boss, unless raises.
I'm pretty sure I'm their boss. I think they help with SAC. I'm gonna be honest, there's so many people in the SAC chat, I don't know half of them. They're just...
You gotta reach out, get to know
I
all
should.
the wonderful SAC stuff. I did it. Right?
Oh yeah.
They're all the ones at Riptide.
Oh no.
Skill issue.
No, they helped with TG, and then TG stopped running, and now they're helping with SAC. That's what it is now. I remembered. All it took was me looking at Discord.
SAC.
All it took was me looking at Discord.
I remember.
Exactly. What?
Well, TG was years ago.
It feels like
TG
it.
was very traumatic for Raze. Please don't bring it up.
Bi-weeklies. Yeah. Also, why are we saying goodnight? It's literally like what? Like, I'm about to switch the overlay.
I'm probably freezing. Dude, this hotspot's not it. Alright, we're gonna play the risky game.
Ooh. Yay, risk. Yay, risk.
Okay.
Risky road.
Successfully
The game of life.
There we go. We'll switch when we switch at the hour. You can ask questions.
Yeah, for 2 minutes.
Questions are encouraged. For 2 minutes. I should have mentioned this 10 minutes ago.
You really should have. Are we gonna interact with chat? Am I gonna have to add a chat box for the YouTube VOD?
Someone says something. No.
No? Okay.
Maybe not yet. We can maybe next episode.
Yeah.
In the next year.
Ooh. Insinuating there'll be a 4th episode.
3rd. Wait. I don't count
This
it as
is
0.
if we're not
past
counting
that.
0, this is 2. Yeah. Yep. It's best friend.
Am I in the microwave? Is that what I sound like? That's cool.
I don't think it's that bad.
I do have
though.
noise suppression on. I
Like,
could turn off noise suppression, but then you're gonna hear me readjust my earbuds every 5 minutes.
like I've definitely heard worse.
When's season
So,
2?
Season 2 is in 2022.
Sure. Well, sure.
Sure.
Great 2-episode season 1.
Hey, the pilot season was really short. We didn't know if we could get enough funding. Come on now. Now that we've secured funding, we can do this more often, maybe possibly.
Maybe possibly.
Maybe possibly.
Now that we're not hiding secrets. Well,
Oh,
now that we're not hiding secrets as of 2 days ago.
yeah, now that we're not hiding, secrets.
I'm
'Cause
eating my mic. Okay, I'm turning off noise suppression.
The last time we
It's
did one
off.
of these,
When did it turn off? Okay,
the
whatever.
the last time we did one of these, there was High Ink was still in the works, SQSS was in the works, and SAC was in the works. Now all of those things are public and or completed.
Alright, am I... Maybe Discord is mic bugging? Am I good now?
I still think you're fine.
Whatever. We're fine. We're fine. Switch the overlay.
Switch the overlay.
We're doing
See,
it. Switch the overlay. We're doing it.
bam, the overlay is switched.
Bam. The overlay I made
Bam.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, literally.
Easy.
Does this mean we have to do an intro now?
Yes. We don't really have like an iconic intro. I like to think the disclaimer we give at the start of every episode is.
Let's do it.
So, you want to do it? Go for it.
Okay. So, welcome to the podcast where me and JPEG talk about our opinions about tournaments that we are making. Those opinions are unaffiliated with IPL, and you cannot hold IPL accountable for anything we say on this podcast. Also, if we leak out anything on this podcast, that's not IPL's problem. Now, if we do, you just didn't hear it. We just didn't say it. You just dreamed it up. So,
There's only one thing we can leak right now, and
true.
I don't think we're going to.
Yeah. No. I don't... Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that being said, we have some exciting stuff to talk about, like SAC, High Ink. Maybe we can talk a little bit about SQSS, and all of that wonderful stuff. So, where do we want to start?
Let's pick up where we left off. Last episode, 2 months ago,
2 months ago.
we had a lot of secrets that we couldn't share.
We did.
So, last month, what did we talk about? We talked about Nintendo. We complained to Nintendo, who, in those 2 months, give them credit, they really redeemed themselves with I think they did a good job. All things considered, they did a good job.
You know what? I will. Yes, they redeemed
allow
themselves. They redeemed themselves a little. Let's not say a lot, because it did take the entire community going, "What the fuck?" for it to happen. But I will give them credit where credit is due. So, credit where credit's due. Nintendo improved. Really good. Fresh 4, as a competition, I thought was mediocre. But,
Yeah.
you know, we take what we can get. Triangle bomb.
Also, I forgot about that. I'm bringing that back.
I shouldn't give them too much flack. I shouldn't give them too much flack because I've never commentated before. I would probably suck at commentating. So, credit where credit's due. I forgot her name, and I feel really bad, but she's really good. Because Nintendo pays her. So...
She was pretty good.
Yeah.
Little triangle bomb moments, though. That's fine. I'm not...
Hey, it's just a bit of comedy.
This episode.
It's just a bit of comedy.
I just want to do a quick recap. So we do a little comedy.
Yeah, we do a little funny moments.
So what happened? Well, where were we when we were talking about that? Well, I was about week 2. No, I think I just started the hiring planning process when we did that episode.
And I still almost accidentally leaked it.
You still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost leaked it, which was just hilarious.
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring up my sheet. We're not gonna talk about hiring too long because it's kind of old news, and
No, we use
SAC. SAC is kind of the bigger news. You know. I'm
True.
excited for SAC.
SAC is gonna be really nice. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, it took a long time to pull together.
Yes.
It took
It did.
honestly too much time to pull together. I kind of dragged my feet on it, not gonna lie. Because there were a lot of things that I could have expedited by not doing it through finals or during college in general. So the entire process. Do we just want to tell the entire story of how it happened, or do we just want to start with the most pressing issue of why are we using +3 as our cutoff? Because I feel like that's what the people are really here for.
We can save that.
We can save it? Alright.
You can
So
save
tell
it.
the entire story.
Tell the entire story.
Basically, how this all began is I went into head TO chat and said, guys, mid-level. we gotta do something. And then who was it who said, but there's already midway in SAC? Because someone said it. I want to say...
I could see Popgun saying that.
Yeah.
Or me.
I feel like it's either
midway
Popgun or Grace.
Or Grace, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, but hear me out. We just work with them. And then a group DM got made with some of the IPL head TOs and Smash and Nick from SAC. And then that led to what? A 2-hour call? Voice crack? Oh god.
See, I
So-
don't know these details.
Oh, you weren't in that group DM, were you?
Nope.
No, because you specifically asked to not be in there, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, stop the podcast. Someone's DMing me. They need help with registering an SOS.
Stop the podcast.
Stop the podcast. Goddamn.
So yeah, after that call, I think it was 2 hours. I think it was a 2-hour discussion between all of it was pretty long. Also, there's the tendency that we all have where we are only productive for an hour and a half, and then we just start talking. Just to each other about tournament-associated stuff. The podcast is supposed to remedy that, right? Where we just talk to each other about random shit for 90 minutes, an hour, however long. So yeah. Then after that, we, ironically, and the thing that kind of surprised me the most about this entire, getting people together, is how many of our staff actually crossed over. Because I think I had to invite 3 new people to the IPL staff server who weren't already in from other projects. Whether that's SOS, commentating, whatever. We just had a majority of SAC's staff and Midway's staff, already assisting with other projects. Which honestly just even sold the idea even more, for the reason that we just bring all of these things together. It would, the biggest thing that I don't know that people thought about leading into this, other than the production value, is something that you talked about a lot, which is SAC running over low ink, and vice versa.
Yep.
That problem doesn't exist anymore, because now there's open communication, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah. We don't even run that many events over the weekend. It's just low ink, so it's nice that we can just have that weekend free. And the other orgs are probably going to suffer from it, but, like, I mean, we kind of need SAC, so it's for the greater good. You know?
Yeah. So it's like...
And it's not forever. It's not, like, going to be year-long. It's only a couple months.
Well, yeah. So, looking into the future, talking a little bit about some plans that I've talked about, or I think for SAC. Right now, ideally, we're probably looking at running 3 seasons in 2022 if all things go to plan, which is very possible, won't happen. I am going to throw that disclaimer out here right now. This is me dreaming, wishful thinking. And don't expect more than 3 seasons, even if things go perfectly. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because currently, each season is 4 tournaments, 4 qualifying tournaments into an invitational. So, bi-weekly, that's 2 months, roughly, unless it's a 5-week month, but still, you're never fitting 4 tournaments into a single month. So then, a couple-week break for production between the qualifying and the invitational. It also gives us a chance to drum up and advertise. So you're looking at a 3-month season, probably. Then, let's say we take a month in between them. So that 4 months for an entire event, start to finish. There's 12 months in a year. Ideally, if everything goes to plan, there will be 3 SAC seasons next year. That being said, like I said, don't take my word for that. That is if everything goes perfectly and the universe just works. Unfortunately, the universe doesn't just work. Most of the time. It's rather unfortunate, if we're being honest. I wish.
I think the biggest deciding factor will be Ludi. I don't think you can reasonably run over Ludi, which is fine. Because they don't run all the time either. And they managed to run 2 seasons this year, so I think you could run 3 or maybe 2 seasons of SAC. So it'll be a good year for mid-level.
Yeah, if everything goes to plan, hopefully mid-level you guys will get the attention you finally deserve. And that big chunk, that big gap in the pipeline of like LSL, low ink, and then nothing, hopefully this remedies that. Because that was the big goal, or that is the big goal for me right now, is keeping mid-level stable. Because if we can keep mid-level stable, then we can find people to like stabilize SAC, and then we can have our dreamers go and run Tassel 2 Electric Boogaloo. And that's like the dream, is that after SAC we add maybe another rung for like an open tournament like targeted at +2/+1, and then after that maybe have, like I said, like a Tassel 2 or something like that, where it's the best of the best. And I think that would be ideal for like a pipeline for competitive players, where it's a very clear cut. You go from this tournament to this tournament to this tournament to this tournament, and then there's noticeable improvement along that path, because if you're progressing through the tournaments, you're improving as a player, and hopefully the players are learning as they go.
Yeah, Popkin mentioned this a little on his podcast, but you can start at LSL or low ink if you want, but once you win low ink, you can go to SAC, and SAC should still be quite a challenge, and that's kind of by design. You want it to kind of reset, you want it to be difficult, you want to have some more motivation to stay as a team and practice more, and then hopefully we can find something for that +1/+2 area aside from majors, which we can't run all the time unless you donate.
Yeah, unless you give us money.
Unless you give us money. But it's no secret we will be running a major next year. At least one. Hopefully. Yeah. We want to. So that's it. We want to do it. But other than that, there's really nothing else like Tassel that's for top players. And IPL doesn't really have anything like Tassel. Tassel's still run by K-Bot, so that's his call.
It's like, as much as, like, I would really love to run something for top level teams. I would love to run an invitational, but I don't think anyone would actually sign on to what I want to do, because I would actually... Things like Ludi and like Tassel gave a lot of freedom to the players to decide things.
Mm-hmm.
No. If I ran one, I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. But yeah.
And
So
that's why you don't do it.
yeah, that's why I haven't done it yet. Is because I don't think anyone would play. I don't think anyone would like me enough to play. Rewinding bit, going back on SAC, why do we use +3 as our cutoff?
This is a good discussion.
The question of the hour. Short
Question
answer.
of the month.
Question of the month. Yeah, honestly. Short answer. It wasn't Ludi. Long answer. SAC is targeted at mid-level teams. Well, what is the distinction for mid-level? Ludi is extremely challenging to play around because if you look at their own definitions of what the divisions are, there's X division, or I think there's X plus division now. There's the highest division, then like Division 1, Division 2, so on and so forth. So, mid-level, by their standards, I would call like Div 3-4. That's what I would call mid-level, but if we look at the greater ecosystem of Splatoon, generally that's considered like mid-low level. Like, what is the cutoff for low ink? Isn't it
low
like
ink,
Div 4, Div 5?
Div 5 is the last div allowed.
Yeah. So if SAC comes in and say our cap is Div 2, that's...
Yeah.
I don't think that actually encompasses all of mid-level, realistically.
Mm.
And then it also doesn't account for teams who don't participate in Ludi, which is a lot of your higher level teams and players. Granted, Ludi does have a lot of really good players who play. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that good players don't play in Ludi. But there are a lot of teams who actively choose not to play in Ludi because of its reputation of killing teams. Like how... In the past 2 weeks, I think we've seen like 4 teams disband.
Probably.
Which is like
Yeah,
average for Ludi.
Yeah.
So we needed a cap that the wider community actually used, and something that was a bit more fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And +3 just seemed like the simplest option. Do I like it? Do I think it's an elegant solution? Honestly, no. I don't like it. Sorry, go.
I didn't like it at first. I really didn't. I was like, what are you guys thinking? But if you really think about it, and coming from my perspective of low ink, Ludi skill caps could be really problematic because it's constantly evolving. It's like the divisions are constantly changing. Div 4 today is not what it was a year ago. And Ludi takes long breaks. And the division's already, like, outdated. I mean, didn't a Div 7 team just win Link? I should probably know that, but I'm pretty sure they were Div 7.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just irrelevant. So here's the thing. SAC starting back up, mid-levels in shambles. You just need something. +3 is allowed, anything above isn't. And now, the longer SAC can run, you can create your own skill cap that isn't reliant on another org. And that's genius. It works. Just give it time, and it'll work.
So, and that's also what JPEG brought up, making our own skill cutoff, or system. There were actually plans to do something like that. To try and have our own rating, skill, ranking, something or other, that wasn't Ludi and it wasn't +3, because we weren't a huge fan of either one of those solutions. But when push came to shove, we couldn't make it work on our timeline in the way we wanted to run a season. Because we wanted to have a season out for people early in 2022. if we worked more on the ranking system or rating system or whatever we were going to use, we wouldn't have been able to get a tournament out in early 2022, or if we did, it probably would have been like March.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's just too long.
Yeah, and we didn't want to wait that long because we had all our staff chomping at the bit, we had production stuff underway, we had the community as a whole really desperately needed something for mid-level. We wanted to get something out where we could say this is an IPL event, we can assure quality in terms of production, in terms of staff. That's just something that's inherent, right?
Mm-hmm.
That rating system hopefully will come with time. People are still interested, people still want to do it. But right now, +3 was the quick and dirty solution. Because like JPEG said, Ludi is already outdated. People have already grown, divisions have already changed. Putting a division cutoff on it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And then +3 was left.
Yeah.
+3 was left.
It's fine. It's just, it's not, it's the best solution now. And it will hopefully help SAC get its feet off the ground and create something in its own ecosystem. So,
yep.
You did mention, I did see some talk in the IPL. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'm gonna. I saw some people talking about creating a ranking system. So people are still interested in it.
Yeah.
But I think after one SAC season, then you can run it and see what happens. You know.
Yeah. So the honestly the challenge with making a rating system or ranking system is actually getting enough data to fill in the system.
Right.
Because that was the big thing with a couple of the like alpha runs, right? We just didn't have enough matches that we could pull from to actually get adequate ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Because like granted we were only running it through like SOS, but that's still our most frequent tournament. Everything else that we run would be less frequent than SOS, and we still, after a year, didn't have enough SOSs to get adequate data.
Yeah.
So it presents a large challenge of it's going to be extremely inaccurate at the very beginning, and that's the time where it is most crucial to be more accurate rather than less accurate, because that's when people are going to judge you the most. Which sucks. It sucks a lot.
Yeah.
Because if we push out this rating system, this ranking system, and say, give this 3 months, and it'll work. No one's going to wait 3 months. They're going to forget it exists in 3 months. It needs to work now. And that's what sucks. Is that everything needs to work as soon as we announce it. Otherwise, people are going to forget about it. And I get why that happens. Like, everyone can't have infinite attention spans, and I don't expect that from anybody. But especially for something like a ranking system, it's crucially important that it stays for an extended duration of time, because it will get more accurate with time. It learns, like the community around it.
Mm.
But people are just like, oh, it didn't rank me where I wanted, time to go complain on Twitter, and then time to just never look at it again.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. What are we doing? Also, for a ranking system to adequately work, we need, like, teams to stay together.
That's kind of one of the big goals of SACs, just to try to keep teams together. And that's something Low Ink's always done well, keep these teams. But once they get banned or are no longer interested in playing, they just kind of disband after a couple months. That typically is what happens. So hopefully now they can stick around a bit and have a reason to play more.
Yeah, and that's another huge reason why we wanted to crank out an SAC season. Why we wanted to get an SAC season out is because we wanted to try, or I specifically, really wanted to try to get some longevity in these mid-level teams. Because what happens right now is they graduate from low ink, and then poof, gone.
You better get in +3.
Smile. Now there's something other than +3 where you can go, if you're doing well in SAC, you probably are going to do well in +3, and you should probably get voted into +3. And there's also the idea of just teams sticking around are going to be really, really good for Splatoon 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because establishing brands and establishing players is crucially important. If we don't have established players, then nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, going into 2022, IPL has kind of, we didn't like specifically talk about this, but I think we're all on the same page here. One of our goals is prep for Splatoon 3. We don't know when it's coming out, but we gotta start getting ready. We gotta get some teams growing. We gotta start getting some foundations built for the community, and getting ready for the influx of new players that are gonna come in. And number two, this is mostly on the low ink side. We want to start appealing to casual players more, and kind of show them that competitive is a thing. And I know a lot of people don't like the casual players, but we at least want to show that we exist. We're here, and if you want to try competitive, you can come on over. So, and if you have any suggestions on how to do that, I would like to know, because Popcorn and I have been trading ideas back and forth a bit. So that's something we really want to do in 2022.
Yeah, and that's also what like SAC was to me, was helping establish some of that. Foundation leading into Splatoon 3, where again we have a pipeline where you go from LSL to low ink to SAC to something else. Like that would be ideal. Where it's very clear, everyone knows what's going on, and if you want to play, you can play really easily.
Mm-hmm.
Then once that pipeline is kind of established, my goal would go from actually having teams to engaging viewers.
Yeah.
Because as long as we can keep viewers engaged with Splatoon, we can make this into an actual esport if we want. I don't think a lot of players want to do that right now, if I'm being honest, because no one will keep their in-game name the same. But you know, I can hope. Like I'm hoping so much.
Yeah, we all have different perspectives on that. Because I personally don't think. Well, I'm the low end guy, so of course I have a little bit of bias. I'm just trying to make cool looking streams and a fun tournament if you want to grow and play. But yeah, I mean, if you want to turn Splatoon into a more official esport, then yeah, we can definitely try for that. But regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the esports guy.
You're the esport? Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
I want to make Splatoon into an esport. That's kind of why I started TOing. Is because I wanted to make the Overwatch League, but for Splatoon.
Yeah.
And
that could be cool.
Yeah, we're getting there. Slowly but surely.
I think a lot of people are just scared of the idea for esports, so I just want to get that thought out that, like...
Oh, no. Yeah.
No, it's not like we're not, like, striving for, like, an official stadium-run esport. We're just trying to go towards that kind of broadcast, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Do we want to talk about High Ink?
I think I want to wrap up one more thing for the SAC is kind of clear up what's going on with the merger. So the way I see it, we have the best of both worlds. We have that SAC staff, same people, still helping out with the IPL production team. So it's going to be a great event. That's the way I see it. That's basically the TLDR, unless you have any clarifications.
Yeah, no. So basically, what this is, IPL cross SAC cross Midway. All of the staff...
I'm so sorry, Midway.
Yeah, all the staff have come together. So it's old testing ground staff, old SAC staff and old Midway staff. They now all work for current SAC. Now, that means the SAC production team is helping the IPL production team. That means the Midway production team is helping both of those production teams. I think SAC might be our largest staff team next to Low Inc.
And keep in mind, Low Inc, most of the staff do verification, and SAC will also have verification, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's basically...
Somewhat.
It's really light verification. It's more so, are you in +1? If no, maybe. But if you're in +2, there's a line there where it's like, if you're crucial to your team and you need to play, and your results are like, we've been doing mediocre and Ludi, then you're probably fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the verification for SAC is going to be less stringent than Low Inc, for sure.
Yeah.
But the main goal is to just weed out, like, +1 players who just have no right being in this tournament.
But in time, I think, all that stuff's going to come in handy for the verification.
Yeah.
Once more tournaments and seasons come out. And you guys also have the seed and stuff, so it's good to have all the help.
Well, we're doing Swiss, so for being technical, we don't have to seed. No, I'm pretty sure we're still doing Swiss.
Okay.
I like Swiss.
Show. I'm not looking.
I'm lazy. I like Swiss because I can throw every team into Swiss pool and then be done. And that's it. And then I make sure they play all their matches on time. And then teams will go complain to help desk. And I will go, cool. You still played, though. So.
That basically sums up. Well, one more thing is that SAC's taken a very long time to create. Even though you've really implied that, like, you kind of rushed it, it's taken a very long time. It started work after Super Jump, didn't it? Like, right after. And that was in the summer.
Yes.
So, goes to show. It has taken a long time, but regardless, it's still kind of rushed out, but we hope it'll still be a good event for everyone.
Well, because, honestly, the biggest logistical challenge for bringing all this together was actually getting all of the staff teams together. Was getting everyone in the same place on the same page. I don't know if any people in chat have used it. Well, I know like Hohen and Vincent have, but like Notion, the only reason SAC is like running right now is because we use Notion.
Yep.
It was such a lifesaver. Our rule doc is like 3 pages. Our Notion board, it's like Trello, is probably like 5 or 6 pages from meetings and stuff we've done. Like, there is so much stuff that we just wouldn't have known or have written down if it wasn't for Notion. And so many... That would be really nice. Also, just... Our staff team is so large that not everyone can be at every meeting, so keeping everyone on the same page was super challenging. And there are still some things where it's like, before we announced on Sunday, there was still a couple things where I was reaching out to specific people like, hey, we talked about this, I know we came to a decision, what was it? We didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's been like a huge logistical challenge for SAC. 14 pages, yeah. Vincent coming in here with the actual numbers. 14 pages on Notion.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Very large.
That's better than Super Jump? Maybe not.
It probably is, actually. Because Super Jump, relatively speaking, was actually kind of simple. Like, the challenge
your
was...
side of it was simple.
Well, yeah. The scale was large in terms of, like, running teams and stuff. And the flex was production, not necessarily organization. like SACs has been a logistical challenge for keeping everyone organized, more so than like the production being super stringent, like ranking system. Yeah,
I think that pretty much covers it for SAC. I mean,
yeah,
not much else to say until we start running it.
true.
So just look forward to it. See, I'm excited to see what the stream looks like.
Oh yeah,
SAC
it's gonna look
streams
great.
are SAC streams historically have been pretty good, but I think IPL Splayer will definitely help out their aesthetic a lot.
For
so
sure.
I'm really excited to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We can move on to High Ink.
Yeah.
All right. So High Ink's kind of my baby. So I think just to start, like, should explain why make High Ink 2. Why make it, like, in general. So people have consistently asked me about it. Like, a lot of low ink winners ask me all the time if we're running another High Ink. So it gave me a lot of drive to, like, try to create a new version of High Ink, because I knew these players that got banned from Link are excited to potentially see a return.
Mm-hmm.
And I think High Ink 1 was very successful, considering where IPL was at the time. It got a lot of viewers.
Sure. It was also really fun to run.
Yeah, it hit like 300 viewers, which High Ink 2 didn't, but it's maybe the excitement of that format kind of wore off, but 300 was really good, so I was feeling good about running another one. And I've personally gotten much better at the producing side of things, so along that with some personal stuff with school kind of falling through, I had a lot of time on my hands, so I decided just go for it, make something cool, make High Ink 2.
Yeah. Something interesting from my perspective was me and you kind of ran the first one, where that was our thing. But then post Super Jump, you're like, I want to run another High Ink. And then I was like, but I've already acquired SAC. So you and Popgun took that on, and it was really interesting for me just watching you guys do it and just taking notes essentially from an outsider, like seeing, that's a really good idea. Whenever I do things like invitationals in the future, I should do that again.
Well, you're going to.
Yeah.
I'm the IPL invitational expert.
Yeah, you're going to consult on SAC's invite at the end of the season.
I just helped Shmeeb with this invitational too. I guess I'm the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you are the guy now, huh?
I'm the guy.
Yeah. JPEG the guy.
All right. Yeah. But what I like, I always find this funny looking back. So the creation of High Ink 2, I said I wanted to run it after Super Jump. But you also already started planning SAC, and it was super early in production, only the heads knew about it. But I made like a proposal document that I sent everyone. I was like, all right, why I should run High Ink 2. Yeah. So the way I convinced them is it can be a stopgap. I can make a High Ink 2 in like a couple weeks. It could be a stopgap while we wait for SAC to start getting their stuff together.
Yeah, get their feet under it.
Most production staff was already working on SAC, so I didn't want to steal them. So I just decided I'm either going to create a production B team or do it myself. So that ended up not working. I ended up doing all the videos and most of the graphics myself, aside from Ink Bear, who did the stream. And even then, he reused High Ink 1 stream, which still looks fine. So that worked out in the end.
Yeah. Like, sorry, go.
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, before I get to credit anyone, I did most of the production stuff, but Popgun, Kira, and Starbit also helped me with a lot of the TOing stuff and getting the teams invited. So I want to give them a shout out because they helped me with Low Ink, and then they also offered to help me with High Ink, and that was very nice of them.
Yeah. It was also, I think it was run super efficiently behind the scenes. Like, you guys did a really good job. Like, I think I saw, like, maybe 3 meetings, and that was it. And then a good tournament just ran.
Yeah. So, my philosophy is kind of evil about this. So I too, I just became very egotistical. I threw teamwork out the window. This was my tournament, which speeds up the process a lot. That's why I did it. I normally I like having for Loic, I like having my staff team give their input, but for High 2, we had to get going because you know we had to run this in December. We started about early November, and a month to plan something like this is that's a little
close.
scary. So
that's kind of get close, yeah.
I just did it. We did a meeting, explained the format, which teams were inviting, all the little details in one meeting, and we just did it. And I took care of most of the production stuff aside from the stream myself. So
how was actually getting teams? How was actually getting teams for this one?
It was.
I remember
great,
that was a challenge for the first High Inc. was actually getting teams to compete.
So, High Inc. one of the biggest failures, kinda, was the team balance. So, to solve that problem, I decided to just ignore the High Inc. Or the Low Inc. winner only rule that we had, and we mixed Low Inc. winners from 2021 and banned teams that were popular with Low Inc., such as like Geek Squid or Resilience. So we had both sides that ended up adding up to 16 teams, and they were also very cooperative. Aside from one team that wasn't great on the communication front, and we just ended up not inviting them. So that was the only problem.
Yeah,
it was great. Normally, invitationals are very stressful when teams suddenly have to drop a couple of days before anything happens, and then you have already advertised that they're going to play. So it's good that everyone was involved. It was great, and I thank them a lot for that. It was wonderful.
That's really good. Yeah, that's also another reason why I'm not looking forward to running another invitational, because as soon as things get a lot more challenging when you have to start incorporating other people into planning dates and such. That's what I need to go after this meeting, or after this podcast. I should go set a date for finals, and so that way I can say, teams, you're gonna be playing on these days, and if you can't, don't bother. Just don't do it.
That's fair. You should probably do that.
I should do that. Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, I mean, Hike was a good time for me. I learned how to make graphics. I knew how to make videos. The Super Jump trailer was me, with the help with the Super Jump production. I didn't make all the assets in it. I just assembled it. But I learned how to make cool graphics. This stream overlay you're seeing was made around the time I was starting to learn how to make graphics. So I ended up making good graphics, making good looking graphics. Other than that, Heinz just always pushed me to learn new production tricks. So maybe next year, if I run a Heinz 3, which I probably won't, we'll see. Maybe I'll learn how to do something else cool.
Heinz is one of those things where you have to run it annually. Otherwise, you don't have enough teams to actually run it. So it we can make Heinz like our December staple. If IPL wanted to continue running them.
See, I'm hesitant to say I don't want to say I'm running a High 3 because it takes a lot of time to run one, and High 2 wouldn't have happened if I didn't have a lot of time on my hands. So it was purely kind of a passion project, just to kind of waste some time on my end.
For sure.
And I'm also concerned with how Splatoon 3 will affect what's going on with that. And once Splatoon 3 comes out and kind of stabilizes, maybe we can look into it some more.
Yeah. Splatoon 3 is really going to shake up tournaments.
Yeah.
It's gonna shake up a lot. Mainly because hopefully we'll get a new influx of players, and maybe possibly they'll keep their IGNs to their names. But maybe they won't. Maybe they'll make it worse.
Low level's pretty good about that, especially when we threaten to DQ them.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's like one of my favorite things to do. Is just DQ teams who are like, you can't DQ us. Like, watch me.
it's always weird with low ink. If I tell people change your name next round or else I'm gonna DQ you, they always end up delaying the match because they're like, no, I'm actually gonna change it now, and then I'm just like, no,
No.
do it after.
Wait.
Start your games.
Play the game, please.
Start. And then they end up delaying Swiss by 5 minutes.
Yikes.
That's pretty much high ink too, though. I mean, it was just a little stopgap to keep you busy for SAC, and my way of keeping those mid-level teams just a little longer.
Yeah, it's just like, no, please stay. We need you.
Puse.
Please.
Also, watch
please.
the announcement. No reason. You guys should watch the announcement.
Yeah, watch the announcement. We need to get better at announcing stuff. Like, our announcement game is like a little... No, I think SAC was definitely better. But, like, just in general, our social media skills leave a lot to be desired in terms of IPL. Like, a lot.
Yeah. Maybe. Aside from that, we could talk about SQSS.
We can.
Gonna bring in back old names. I don't think neither of us were involved in that, though.
I had a shadow hand involved, kind of, sort of, where me and Magic talked a lot about it, and I always said, all right, look, run one, and let's get it back out there, and then you can worry about changing things. Because basically, they came to me, and they were originally going to run, like, a GSL format. I was like, no. Don't do that. Don't run GSL. Please. We're not Valorant. Don't do it.
We're not Valorant.
Don't do it. So it was a case of me and Magic talking about what we wanted to see and then what Squidboards wanted. Because Magic is is one of the people, at least from my perspective, leading the charge in terms of getting Squidboards back up before Splatoon 3. Or at least he's the person I talk to the most about it. So that was one of the things for me where it was like, yes, do it, Magic. Do it. Run it again. Bring back SQSS. And one of the funny things with SQSS coming back was seeing the clear distinction between people going, what the fuck is this? Where did this come from? Why are the boomers happy about it? Why do the old people know what this is? And then the old people just going, yeah, SQSS, it's back, woo! Like, and that dynamic on Twitter was very fun to watch when it got announced.
Yeah, the Twitter hype was exciting, but when we announced it on low ink, like everyone was like, maybe it wasn't a good choice to announce that on low ink. But
where else would we have announced
Twitter
it?
liked it. Twitter,
should we have just done a Twitter trailer?
Well, we did both, so it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, like I think that's one of those things where it doesn't make sense to do exclusively one or exclusively the other.
Yeah.
Because like we're gonna make a trailer for the low ink stream. And if we were going to make a trailer for Twitter, well, like, what would we change? What would get changed? I don't think anything would. I think it's just covering more bases. So, like, otherwise, there's no reason to just not.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's just, it was funny seeing the dynamic between the low ink chat who just did not know.
Question mark.
And Twitter, who's losing their mind.
Yeah.
But so, it's good to see, I think we talked about this earlier, I think SQSS could kind of fill that +2/+1 niche, maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Those teams are definitely a little more interested in this kind of tournament.
For sure. And last time I talked with them about it, and I don't know, and their plans could change, but I know at least there have been discussions of them running quarterly, not monthly anymore, which I really like. I think that's actually the really good way to do it, because if they run quarterly and they can get a prize pool, then that can fill in that major slot really, really easily.
Could be like a mini major.
Yeah. Where
I don't know if we're Well, they would have to provide it because we only do the stream. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
no,
Maybe we can talk about.
If
We're
we,
not?
No, at least not right now. That would be a money man discussion. Because I don't know if we have any money in the bank.
I'm not saying doing the whole thing. Maybe just a little, because we are streaming for them, and generally our policy is if you donate during the stream, it goes to that tournament. So
yeah.
I don't know what the specifics are for that. I didn't touch SQSS, so I don't know how it works, but that could be how it works.
That would definitely be a thing where like me and Magic and Kraken and I think Dax City, we all sit down and go like, how do we want to make this work, and do some logistics stuff on it. But yeah, I think if SQSS got a prize pool, 100% they could fill that major time slot super easily. Super easily. If they wanted, they could probably even look to do a 2-day format since they're doing quarterly. Like, I know that's not super popular with people, but in terms of broadcasting, it's super nice. It's super nice not to have to force an entire broadcast into one day.
Yeah, that can get messy.
Like, when we ran Super Jump, I was so happy we made it a 2-day.
That helped a lot.
Those buffers that we kind of built into that system between like the first wave and even later in the evening were the only reason that tournament ran like successfully at all. And even then, there were still a lot of things where it's like, we didn't know that was going to happen. See Smash GG not letting us run our tournament properly.
See, what I love about complaining about that is that we also told the development team of Smash GG what the problems were.
True.
So we're allowed to complain.
True. And that's also one of the things I actually really like with working with Smash GG is that there's actually that open dialogue there between like people who are running like sizable tournaments and even small tournaments. Like back when I ran Squid Spawning Grounds on Smash GG, there was still that open dialogue between that's a blast from the past. Between us.
That was like one of my first tournaments.
Wait, really?
Yeah. That's where I started comp. Well, it was Fresh Start Cup. Then it was Squid Spawning Grounds.
Yeah. There's a story there.
Those people.
Fun fact, those two then turned into SAC. So, for the people who might not know, Squid Spawning Grounds was similar to Low Ink, but it was a bi-weekly before Low Ink existed. It was before Low Ink existed, I think.
Before Low Ink got popular, at least.
Yeah. So, what ended up happening is Endgame TV wanted to start running circuits. So they wanted to... I think it was Smash GG wanted to test circuits. And they went to Endgame TV and was like, hey, are you running anything? And then Endgame came to Squid Spawning Grounds and Fresh Start Cup as like, so, low-level circuit. And we were like, yes. So, Season 0 was I helped run it. Like, I was one of the founding people behind SAC. And then after Season 0, I stepped away to do bigger and better things. Which was actually, me just going and playing the game more seriously. So, it's actually...
It all comes full circle.
Yeah, it all came full circle, and it's actually kind of nostalgic for me to be in a leadership role in SAC again. Because it was one of those things where it's like, after I stepped away from SAC, it was like, I kind of want to keep helping them now. But it was one of those things where it's like, I didn't want to go back and just be like, hey, smile.
Yeah.
So this way, I got to help out with SAC again in a meaningful way. It was really nice. So.
Yeah, then you joined IPL.
Yep, and then I joined IPL.
For a funny little Swiss tournament.
Yeah, for a funny little Swiss tournament.
I was actually thinking about this. IPL's launch, like, what were we doing? We had a mid-level weekly, and then not midweek weekly, and then a Friday night tournament,
bi-weekly.
Which kind of made sense, but they were all NA tournaments, so just kind of weird.
It was very weird. And then there's also how SOS was originally targeted towards like high level.
Yeah, it makes sense in theory, but then you can't make a weekly for high level. Like they're not gonna. It's gonna get a little predictable. I don't know. That's just my way of thinking.
Yeah,
I'm glad SOS has struck a really good balance between just supporting all skill levels with how its format is, and I think a weekly should be like that. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. It was really, really. Things have kind of settled out, and I think IPL is in a really good spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where we have our weeklies, we have our we have low ink, and now with SAC, I think we've hit a nice distribution of our tournaments have purpose, and they'll have a different purpose, but they're all still. Nothing is oversaturated was the word I'm looking, or the phrase I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So, it's. I just think we've struck a really good balance right now.
Yeah, and this is definitely something we'd have to bring up for. We have a meeting coming up for that meeting. I can feel it. It's coming.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure.
King of the Castle and Refresh Down, which are kind of on a temporary hiatus, kind of need to come back, just due to low interest. We need to figure out how they fit into this scene. But right now, the tournaments that are happening right now are doing really well. So, all things considered. And with that, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to mention? Because I think we covered everything I thought we would.
Not really. I mean, keep your IGNs close to your Twitter handle or your Battlefy. Don't be in help desk for dumbass reasons. Like,
don't DM me SOS questions.
Don't DM JPEG SOS questions in the middle of the podcast. I mean, do you wanna see if anyone has good questions? Unironically.
Yeah, we can do some questions. Splatoon News just retweeted us, so probably stick around for just a little.
Yeah, probably.
Talk about the skill. We already did talk about the skill.
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit. I can TLDR it. Short answer, not Ludi. Long answer. Ludi didn't really cover any of the bases we need to get covered, and the quickest, dirtiest solution to actually get a tournament out on time was +3, and we didn't want to delay SAC any longer than we already had. There's your TLDR. If you want a more in-depth answer, rewind this or watch this when I put this up on YouTube, because I will put this one up on YouTube, I promise. I didn't make the mistake of accidentally uploading both of them unlisted and then looking back yesterday and realizing that they were both unlisted. I didn't make that mistake. Smile. She combined +3 in Div 2.
K-Bot has a question.
Why does K-Bot have a question? K-Bot needs to put his question in chat.
I don't know. K-Bot's not putting his question in chat. What's your question, K-Bot?
There are Div 1 players aren't in +2 yet. Exactly, that's the point.
K-Bot,
that's why we use +3. Because there are Div 1 players.
Horribly. I have to talk to Raze.
Charizard, that is the exact reason why I didn't want to run Ludi. That right there. Is there are Div 1 players?
Explain. We explained this perfectly. Just go back.
Yeah.
Hand motions.
Hand motions.
I normally don't do this. It's always like whenever I'm in a webcam, I'm like, I gotta do hand motions. Normally, I just don't do that.
Yep.
All right. Well.
Just gave up. Yeah,
I would say
for sure.
low ink, but we don't have a low ink coming up, so.
Well, yeah, you don't have a low ink on the calendar, but everyone knows low ink is coming.
Hydrate.
Oh, yeah, the nondescript water bottle. The joke is only funny for people who are here at the beginning.
The water bottles has local business branding with my location on it, so I had to hide it the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he has to do the lean.
You gotta do the.
so he can drink from his nondescript water bottle.
I think we're good here.
Yeah. So yeah, if nobody has any questions, we can sign off. Do you want to go
If
first,
you would
or
like
should I?
to support,
Oh, you were going. Forgive me.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going. You can. Well, our socials are on screen, bottom left corner. You can follow me at Play Lowink. I tweet about Lowink a lot, and we will have more details on Lowink on January, not 1st. That's New Year's Day. Maybe it'll be a little later though.
Yep. For me, Twitter, bottom left, Twitch, bottom. You're watching on it. Feel free to follow. We'll do this again.
you're not.
I occasionally stream solo queue. Occasionally, very rarely. I want to start streaming VOD reviews, but that requires people to actually want me to review their VODs. So, if you want me to review your VOD, go to my Metafy at RaySplat and book me for a VOD review. I'm really
Let's
cheap
go.
and really good, I promise.
He is
'Cause
really good.
I am. So,
He's really good though.
other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed. I promise to have this up in like the next week for the people who want to watch the VOD. And that's it. Have a good day,
We're
everybody.
good.